Alright, so today I want to talk about a place that is an absolute easy mode, cheat code, gold mine for street photography that I feel like just simply does not get enough love. Hey, welcome back. It is time once again for Snap and Yap. It's Friday. This is my weekly mini-series here on YouTube about all things photography and videography. So we've been in Chicago for about a week now, and last weekend we spent several hours walking around the Art Institute downtown, one of the coolest museums that I've ever been to, and it reminded me how much that I absolutely adore photographing museums. Couple pro tips up top if you're planning on trying this out yourself. This is a situation where you're going to want a smaller camera. I don't know, it kind of goes without saying, but museum staff is pretty cool with you taking photos. Generally, I've never had an issue, but most museums, at least bigger ones, have rules against any kind of professional photography. And I might be biased on this one because I almost always shoot with wider lenses, but I do think that a wider lens is going to help, especially if you plan on doing any kind of like architecture stuff on the side. And speaking of lenses, I'd also probably bring something a little faster. Museums can be pretty dark. I also think the museums are a really good opportunity to practice your black and white photography, especially if your camera can be fully flipped over into a black and white mode or picture profile. I know like on Fuji we've got the Acros film sim. I tend to shoot that way. I don't really like the weird dark yellows and kind of funky colors that you get from the changing lighting and the interiors and all that, so I just go straight black and white. And then maybe in post, if you want to edit in color, you know, go for it, but I think black and white is a lot more inspiring when you're shooting any kind of interiors as a street photographer. So just my 2 cents. So museums, doing street photography in museums, that's going to be a non-confrontational kind of environment. You know, I talked about how museum security generally doesn't care if you're out taking photos, but the second you start, you know, blasting people 3 feet from their face with a 35mm lens, like, calm down, Bruce Gilden, this is not the time. So I would personally recommend that you take a step back, go for less confrontational stuff, and also just, you know, don't be an asshole. Let people enjoy the experience. Don't be the reason that somebody has a bad time at the museum. I think that this is a non-confrontational zone for street photography. But this is also kind of another reason that I love museums for street photography, because my personal style is not very confrontational. It's not very in your face and gritty and smell the streets and all that. I actually like photos where my subjects are relatively anonymous. I think that's, you know, some of my favorite images actually. So museums just at a baseline feel very, very conducive to the exact type of photography that I really like. Not only is it a really inspiring place to shoot, just being surrounded by incredible artwork, but you know, there's so much amazing architecture. A lot of museums, like especially the Met and the Getty in LA come to mind, have really incredible grounds and exteriors as well. And there are just limitless opportunities for framing and geometry and repetition and just all of those good fundamental, you know, rules that you all learn about photography when you first start out. Another thing is people actually still get dressed up to go to the museum, which means that you just get really great subjects to shoot a lot of the time. You get, you know, women in dresses, you get people in coats, you get people in hats, you get just interesting kind of streetwear outfits too. Not a lot of like sweatpants and, you know, that sort of thing at museums. I mean, you still get some of that, but like walking around the Met or the Getty, you're gonna see people in like overcoats and just like really, really killer characters, especially if you're going to silhouette them against some kind of backdrop or a frame. It just is an absolute gold mine. I also don't think that you can legally say street photography and museums in the same sentence without at least giving a nod to Paul Harrison. If you don't know Paul Harrison, he is a UK-based photographer who is kind of semi-known for his work in galleries and museums. He just has all of these really, really cool observant images where he finds, you know, repetition and themes and things where, you know, his subjects match the subject of a painting, or, you know, the environment otherwise tells a story, and he's just absolutely brilliant. So go check him out, especially if you need a little inspiration ahead of heading out to your local museum and giving this a shot. I've got the iPad here. I got Lightroom open with a couple images from the Art Institute, so I want to talk through a few of these, maybe give you some ideas for techniques and things to try, things that I personally like to do. Let's dive in. So I think one of the first things is slow shutter speed, and slow shutter speed is just something that I do a lot of the time when I'm bored or when I'm feeling uninspired, but it can be especially helpful in a museum, especially if you're in a spot that has really, really killer architecture, like these big sweeping staircases. The Grand Staircase in the Art Institute is absolutely magnificent. However, it's also a really chaotic scene because there's, you know, people milling around, and slow shutter speed can be a really, really good way to show the architecture while blurring the movement of everyone in the scene and kind of simplifying identifying it. If you freeze the motion with a faster shutter speed, a lot of the time the image can just look really cluttered, but with a slow shutter speed, I think that they actually become kind of part of a more artistic composition. And then next, I just want to talk about framing in general. So many different ways to use artistic, creative framing in your street photography in museums. Just, you know, framing a really cool subject in a doorway, using the architecture, or even using a larger subject in the frame to kind of fill up empty space, to demonstrate the architecture, to show the lighting, to, you know, show the artwork without just making it like a snapshot of a museum. That's what I did in this particular image, and I use this technique a ton when I'm shooting anywhere that is like a tourist attraction, anywhere that I feel like, you know, 1,000 people have been here before. I want to do something to spice it up, make it look lived in. Can't really tell who this person is or what they're doing, but it's very identifiable. I like photos where I can give the viewer an anonymous subject that they can kind of identify with, step into the shoes of mentally. And then it can also just be a really great place to have some like subject-led photos. A lot of people have their guard down because they assume you're taking photos of the architecture, and even though I think the best street photos happen when you're not afraid of your subjects, I do think that this is a really good opportunity to not bother anybody and just kind of take advantage of moments when you see them arise that are easy or quick to photograph, like this one of the guy looking at his phone. Typically, I don't love images where the subject is looking at their phone. I think it kind of breaks the immersion of the image, but I think that the lighting and the architecture and his sort of position that he's sitting in with his leg up counteract some of that general dislike in this instance. Another way that I think you can use subjects is really interesting is if you catch somebody looking at the art. When I see this particular subject checking out the statues or the busts that are on the pedestals there on the right side, I just think of all the different museums that I've been to, the memories that I have of like seeing certain ones that I've always wanted to go to for the first time. It just evokes a lot of you know, very identifiable memories for me. And then as always, just when you combine things, like again, this woman is looking at her phone, not my favorite thing, but combine it with the slow shutter speed and she's being kind of framed by all these people walking past. Museums are just such a playground. It's just a really, really great place to get clean lines and lots of negative space, lots of just uncluttered scenes. It really just scratches an itch for me, something that I've always absolutely loved doing. So I hope that this inspires one or two of you to go out there, maybe this weekend, sometime in the future, to check out your local museums, see what kind of photography opportunities exist there. And as always, you know, let me know what I missed. Tell me what your favorite tip, what your favorite method is for shooting in a museum. And also, if you happen to have any other like unspoken goldmine street photography locations, you know, maybe drop that as an idea down below and we will maybe cover it in a future Snapping Yap. But that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it. Thanks as always for the support, for watching this, and you know, take photos. Hope you have a great weekend plan. Eat delicious food, drink water. I will talk to you very soon.